Just the Thought podcast. We are back with another one. If y'all don't know already, episode 35 just dropped. The Road to Greatness featuring Jay Watts. Shout out to Jay Watts. Big ups to Jay Watts, man. Thank you for coming on the show. My two co-hosts cannot be here today, Andre and Tion, but much love to them. Shout out. But we got a special guest in the building. Trey Williamson. Thank you so much for coming on the show, brother. I know we're on different time schedules, but I appreciate you so much.
Yeah, I think are you on the East Coast or?
No, I'm actually living in Spain, bro.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Oh, nice. That's just awesome, man.
Yeah, bro. I'm living in Spain. So I'm actually 7 hours ahead of you. So I was just like,
so it's
I was
like
10 o'clock actually,
now. It was like 8, 9 o'clock.
Yeah. I was actually thinking. I was like, oh my, because I was thinking maybe he's in Cali. If he's in Cali, that's 9 hours behind. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like,
I'm in the middle, or like near. I'm in Texas at the moment, so I'm traveling. I'm working right now, but I'm in Texas right now. So yeah, man, cool. No, it's just I didn't know you. This is awesome, man. You're in Spain. That's awesome. What's up?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
What's up, Spain?
Hey, one day you can come make your way out here.
I know, man. What city, if you don't mind me asking? Barcelona or where were you?
I'm actually 2 hours outside of Madrid. I'm in a city called Valladolid. Okay. Yeah, I'm like I'm 2 hours from there. It's like 300,000 people, but it's a nice little cool city. I've been out here for almost 3 years now.
Oh, nice, man. Oh, you loving it out there?
Yeah, I'm loving it, bro. It's a lot different than the States. I'm from Connecticut originally.
Okay, all right. So you big move, man. Very big move.
Yeah, it's a big move. Definitely from where I come from. But I'm excited I'm excited to be out here and just making the transition. You know, it's been great. It's been great.
But no, when I lived in California, I was able to accomplish a lot. I did several TV shows like just one line, 2 lines here, whatever. Shows like Grey's Anatomy, The Office, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Like I said, just a ton of commercials. And I would truly definitely say that's where I found my style. People know me for the impersonations, but when you see me live, you're like, oh, you'll be like, he got his own thing. And I'm doing more videos to kind of showcase that as well. Because I also sing and all kinds of stuff. So I want people to know that I'm just,
sing too.
I know people know me for the impersonations, but that's why you see my some of. I sing. I do a little bit of. I would say I do a little bit of everything because I put it through comedy. Like I got some videos where I've been doing kind of playing around with remaking songs, new songs as if they were 70s versions of them, like the Migos, Bad and Bougie.
Can you mind me hearing that for like you?
I got you, bro. Here we go.
Raindrops, drop tops. Smoking on cookie in a hot box. Messing with your chick, she's a 555. Oh, yes.
So I try, as people follow me, I like them to see, I'm like, hey, it's a lot more to this guy than those impressions. But I do, I make sure I do the impressions. But especially when you see my live show, you're like, oh, God, I dance. And it's a variety show pretty much when I'm on stage live.
You get the high pitched voice, that Smokey Robinson.
Yeah.
You get the high note.
The low register sometimes.
You hit the high note pretty well, man.
Thank you, brother.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure. What's up?
Well, I'm a proper introduce myself. My name is Joshua. And they call me Spaz. How long have you been doing comedy before you got noticed?
Oh, that's a good question. I would say before I got noticed, about 9 years before I was actually.
Wow.
All those things I started. Yeah. Because I've been at it about 12 years total now, and it took. I didn't really begin to break through until about three or 4 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up.
So, so this is a marathon. It's nothing. Overnight is 7 years, they say.
Yeah, it is. It is a marathon, especially something you something you love and you want it to progress and turn out to do well. It's always going to be a marathon. It's never a quick way to the finish line. It's always a marathon, especially if it's something you love and you cherish. That I agree with you on that. What was the biggest thing when you came to LA? What was one of the biggest differences coming from where you come from? And how is it?
That's a good question, man.
How are you able to adapt?
Very good question. Being from the South, my the first thing I saw was just a different, being in the South, they say, Southern charm, Southern the manners and all that. So I'm very much, if you hear me speak to older people, you hear me, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, and even that, as a grown man now. But that was a big difference seeing that dynamic shift when I think I was on a train coming from Watts or somewhere I was coming from in LA and seeing people kind of using profanity to in front of older people and using profanity to their parents and things like that. So I was just like, I was the dynamic of the Southern manners and all that. I saw that just be just at a drastic change, and then the variety of all the ethnicities that are in Los Angeles. Birmingham, Alabama is white people, black people, and about six Asian people. So it's like it was it. That was literally like it was like six Asian people done, and Los Angeles is a melting pot, for everything. It is every
Yeah.
single culture is in Los Angeles. So it was cool too, man. I began to have friends of other ethnicities, and I dated a few women from other ethnicities, so I was able to see some different some
How
cultures,
was that?
different
How was
cultures.
that? How was that? Being a Southern,
Ah,
how was dating out in LA?
for me, man, it was cool. Like I said, being a kid from Birmingham, Alabama, only just black and white people. So I met an Egyptian girl, and she taught me stuff about Egypt and all of that. And I think I don't know if I saw Rush Hour 2 too much because I dated a few Asian women. I don't know what they just kind of happened like that, where I dated quite a few Asian women. They were, man. It was I was seeing things like little differences. I remember this Filipino girl I was dating. She was like, it was rude if you say no if they offer you food. American and been growing up with manners, like don't wear out your welcome, and what I mean, don't do too much if somebody invites you over their house and stuff like that. But in certain cultures, that's rude if you say, "Hey, I don't want any food." And that was one of the first things I heard. And she, being Filipino, she was also they consider that Polynesian, that culture. So they also
Yeah.
are connected to Tahitian dancing um what is the other style, hula, because with people get that confused. Tahitian is the one with the girls' butts are just moving really, really, really fast. That's Tahitian
Yeah,
dancing, but
yeah.
hula is like the slow, and you know what I mean. So I was dating her, and she was into that, and so it was just stuff like that. Every person that I met was just I was getting introduced to something new, whether it was food or like something that they do in particular in their culture. But I tell you this: women are women, no matter what. A woman is a woman, no matter what.
You
Yeah,
definitely hit that on the nail.
that's true. That's facts. Now let me ask you this: you performed in LA on stand up. How
Yeah.
was it? How was it like when you first got on that stage? Because LA is a melting pot, like you say, especially for stand up. People like Damon Wayans, Eddie Murphy, all these people, Kevin Hart, Joe Rogan, they all performed in LA, somewhere in LA. How was it you? How was it like for you getting that feeling, getting on stage?
I was blessed, man. This is my story is a little different, and I was just blessed. My first time on stage, I went on stage after a young man named Kevin Hart. That was my first time at the Laugh Factory, and that was a connect from.
Mm.
Shout out to Reggie Ballard. That's a good friend of mine who you all know as Bruh Man from the Fifth Flow. That's a
Yeah,
good
from the
friend of
fifth
mine.
Okay,
He made
flow.
okay.
Exactly. His real name is Reginald Ballard. He's a terrific actor, man. I always encourage people to check out more of his work than the Martin Show. And he hooked that up for me, man. And then about maybe like a week later, I was I just came from an audition, and somebody was telling me, "Hey, man, you should check out this comedy club called Mixed Nuts." It's no longer there now, but I went inside the club at that very moment they were filming a movie, and I could tell. I was like, "It looks like a movie set is going on around here." And I asked some questions what was going on, and I went to the club that night, and it was this guy, he was an African guy that was owner of the club, and I was like, can I get on stage? He's like, oh, he was thinking about it. Okay, I'll give you a chance. I said, man, I'm a kid from Alabama. He gave me a chance. I went on stage. I went on stage. I got a standing ovation that night. Everybody was asking about me. They booked me again at the club. Everybody was asking about it. The director of that movie heard about it, and they told me just show up on the set the next day. I thought I was going to be like an extra or something like that. I showed up on the set the next day. The director of the movie and the producer, he walked up to me with paperwork saying, "Everybody's been talking about you all day. I'm putting you in the movie." So I had lines in the movie I was just on there. I was just in the area the day before. Went on stage that night, performed, had a great night. The director of the movie heard about it, put me in the movie the very next day. So it was definitely my sign. It was right after I prayed too. Thank you, brother. I prayed right after that. I pray right before that. I said, God, show me I'm supposed to be here, and that happened the very next day. So that was my story is different. So it was meant for me to be there. I prayed about it, and after that, man, I started rocking out, and I found my style in LA because I was performing everywhere. And if you find out once you embrace what you're doing, man, people will come along for the ride when you're confident in what you're doing. But when you're showing fear and a lack of confidence in what you're doing, they can't follow that because you don't even believe in it. Yeah, so that's my story in LA, and I just began developing and performing everywhere. Next thing I know, I was like, it's not a club in LA I have not performed at. So yeah, that's my story out there.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that.
That's rare. I would go to clubs, people ask me to get on stage. Oh yeah. LA, man, it's one of those places where people are fighting and clawing for stage time out there. So I was blessed to be able to go out there and some good things happened to me early on. All glory to God on that. And I was able to flow through it a little easier than some people were.
Yeah. So how do you stay consistent with your content? Consistency is a very hard thing to continue to do. Myself, sometimes it's hard for me to be consistent, but I find a way. How's it for you? What do you do? You say you pray. Obviously, listening to you talk. You're a religious man. You believe in God. But how do you stay consistent when times are tough?
It's kind of like going back to what you're saying. It's figuring it out. I pull inspiration from my fans. Whether they know it or not, like they say things, man. I read my comments and they say things that they keep me going. It's me knowing that this is not about me. That is somebody. Another big thing that keeps me going. I'm always thinking, is somebody out there that could use a laugh today. It's somebody out there that is going through something, whether it's a breakup or going through something in their marriage or a financial issue, a health issue, anything. And I said, I pray that I hope they come across one of my videos and that this will help them heal or maybe just take their mind off of whatever they're going through. So those two things are the biggest inspirational points for me. Those two things keep me going. That's what keeps me consistent. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm happy you said that. A laugh really goes a long way. You know what I'm saying? Like you can be somebody can be going through the worst day, or somebody got fired, or unfortunately a death happened in the family. But a laugh goes a long way. It goes a long way.
Your laugh is forever.
Yeah, and it's so important for people to laugh. You know what I'm saying? Even when you're struggling, and even if it's just a horrible time for you, it's important to laugh. Laugh releases dopamine. Like I think that's so cool I think that's so cool that you're a person that can do something like that, because it's hard. It's hard to make people laugh. A lot of people are going through stuff. It's hard, and it's a rough job to consistently try to make people laugh as well.
To keep,
you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I do.
So because those people that make people laugh, those people are not getting checked on because they assume that you're always happy.
Good. Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
So
oh my God.
I appreciate you for sharing that, because a laugh goes a long way. I'm not the funniest person, but I always try to make people laugh, because I don't want you to be feeling the way you're feeling if you're with me. I want you to make sure you're comfortable and and we're thinking of the now moment, not what's happened in the past or the future. So I think it's important for people to laugh. I respect that a lot.
I love
Now,
what you just said. Gosh, yeah.
now
People
I have
people
a
don't check
question
on those
because
people. Go ahead.
seriously, both of you are absolutely right because I have a question because okay, so I do comedy and I do music. You get what I'm saying? Now, sometimes I get to the point where I get frustrated. It's like I'm not getting noticed. It's like okay, I'm throwing content out there consistently, but so how do you deal with when like you on a come up? How did you deal with the frustration of? Did you feel like you was getting noticed? Did you feel like is somebody seeing me, or is it like how did you deal with that part of your journey?
Oh man, that's an excellent question. I'll explain it best with a story.
Yeah.
Um, two, I had one viral video hit. Another story, the person who put it up got jealous of it and took it off their page. That's a whole nother story. I'm gonna share my documentary because I'm working on a documentary right now. I'll tell you guys about it in a minute.
Yeah,
But
we'll get into it. We're gonna get into it.
my man, the story is this. Um, about 2 weeks before the one that really got me out there, that was the catalyst that really got me out there, was the Plies video. But before that, 2 weeks before, I'm on the phone with my man. I don't know if you guys are familiar with a brother named Shula King. And if
Yeah.
you're familiar with Shula, you got to know Shula. Okay. And
Yeah.
we on the phone, man, 2 weeks before. And because you go through kind of this, you rocking, you doing your thing, like you're saying, you're being consistent, you putting in the work, you putting your content out there. But at the end of the day, you do want to share what you're doing with the world. You want to share with more people because you feel like it's good, my stuff is good. Because I'll tell you, let me say that while I'm thinking about it. Because it's not whether your stuff is good or not. It's just the fact that it just hasn't been exposed just yet. That's it. Because you'll find yourself doing this. I'm doing the same thing I was doing. It's just now more people know that I'm doing it. That's the only difference. That's why don't change what you believe in. Keep doing that. It's just a matter of time, and it's a matter of God's placement and when He's going to place your time and your momentum. But 2 weeks before this, I'm on the phone with Shula, and I was just like, man, putting out stuff. I've been doing my thing for a while, and it's just I was like, just man, it's just I don't know if it's working. I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm not gonna stop, but I'm just wondering what's going on. And he said, man, Trey, you are so talented, man. He said, watch. It's just gonna be one video that it's gonna touch everybody. It's just gonna set it off. 2 weeks later, I did a video where I had Plies. I did an impersonation of Plies, and I said I had him go to Starbucks. I said, what if Plies went to Starbucks? That was just a funny concept in my mind. If Plies went to Starbucks to order some coffee. And I did the video. I put my entire day into it. Actually, I had a show at Zany's in Nashville, showcase. So like I was headlining. I called them and postponed that show. They said it's cool because God spoke to me and said, "Put your energy into this video this day." I did this video, man. I posted it the next day. Somebody happened to literally the previous day asked me too. You think Clyde sees these videos? I did another one before that. I said, I think he probably sees. Who knows? I posted this video, man. 9:30 the next day. I just saw my, you know what I mean? All I know, followers was just coming in like crazy, and people were tagging me, and it was just going off. This video just went everywhere. It was on World Star. Was everybody just hit me like, um, take a bow, my friend. I remember somebody's comment because you own the internet today. Because the video I think hit something like 3.1 million views in a few hours, and it was just crazy. And Shula calls me. First things he says when he gets on the phone. I'm trying not to say the word, but he said, "Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you?" That's all he said. Didn't I tell you? And that was it, man. It just went from there, and what it showed me, and to my brother joining us, man, it just showed me, man. It just you keep doing what you're doing. It is going to pay off. It is going to you are going to move forward, even when it doesn't feel like it, and you losing that light at the end of the tunnel. Trust me, if you got a vision and you see yourself going further, you will. It's just keep believing what you're doing, making the proper adjustments too. Make that doesn't mean change who you are, but make the adjustments. I mean, I remember Denzel Washington spoke on this, which is like, don't get movement confused with progress. So when you see if something is not working in your strategy, you have to adjust that strategy. Like, let me try something else, while still maintaining who I am, but maybe adjustments in the strategy. And once you do that, and you just keep going and going, because you're gonna always have to do that. Sometimes you got to go back to the drawing board, and just kind of adjust what you're doing. And once you do that, you just keep moving and moving and moving. It'll pay off. It will, and you'll go higher.
I got to the point where it's like, yo, I don't really want to, like, because my friends and everybody around me tells me, like, yo, listen, you funny, and I had a couple people, which I got them out of my life. They was like, nah, I don't think you should do comedy. So I'm like, is it that I'm not funny? They was like, nah. They said, nah, that's not your lane. Your lane is, just music. And I'm like, but listen, when I hang around friends, we joke, we laugh. And, I took that and was like, let me put this into here. So then what I started doing was like hashtagging my videos. I had people that was like, yo, take your videos and hashtag them, but I'm in the process of just still fighting through it and just still pushing through it, long story short. And I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep going. Even times where I feel like giving up, I'm not going to give up. So it is what it is.
That's it, man. It's what I love is, you're funny. People around you know you're funny. It's just a matter of you conveying what you do with your friends in front of, in front of the world. It like I said, just when you're doing that, it'll just keep plugging away. Keep plugging away. Yeah. Watch all them people. Watch this. This is gonna be the crazy part. All the people that said this ain't your lane, they gonna say it is. Man, you doing your thing.
Oh yeah.
Let me get a t-shirt. Let me get a t-shirt.
It's gonna go. Right. When it starts to, when it's popular to believe in you, not everybody believes. That's how it always goes, man. So I love it. You just keep plugging away. That's exactly what you do.
And like you said, I love laughing, man. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with laughter. Just like you said, Ray, listen, laughter is so good for the soul. It's like the world right now, certain places, certain times, it could be a miserable place. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, laugh, joke, have fun, so.
Yeah, definitely. But let me ask you this, because I'm one of the people that I do think you're funny. I think it's natural. When you did the pastor selling drugs, everybody. The sad thing is, a bunch of people can relate to that. A bunch of people, everybody know a pastor that was doing something on the side.
Definitely. You know what? Honestly,
you laughing, Trey, because you know it's true. The pastor got two jobs.
That's what the concept is funny, because it's very true.
Yeah, honestly, and you know what? I'm actually learning so much, because at first I was doing, like, I don't know why I was doing it. I just was doing it. I was doing like 2-3 minute videos. And then one of my peoples was like, yo, look, no offense, you funny, but make it shorter, because people's attention span. So now I'll do anywhere from 20 to 30 seconds to a minute, and then I cut it right there. But
now there you go. Those are the adjustments I'm talking about. You didn't change who you are, but you adjusted. You made adjustments. Like right now, we know internet is the new TV. Don't worry about getting on TV so much no more. And this is coming from somebody who was on TV back in the day. I learned. I made that adjustment. I was like, ain't nobody watching TV like that, like they used to. Yeah, people are got. But what do they have all day? Their phones.
Phones, exactly. But
and that attention span, got to get that. Like I said, get that attention in the first 15 seconds or whatever.
One thing I learned from, I learned a bunch of things, but anyway, one thing I learned from Bernie Mac, because that right there is one of my favorite comedians ever. Bernie Mac. So what Bernie Mac said, he said, everybody's worried about money. When he was on the Oprah show. He said, stop worrying about money and worry about perfecting your craft. Mm-hmm. And the money will come. Just keep perfecting your craft and keep working at it. And that's something that always stuck with me. You know what I'm saying?
Come on. It's true. It is true. I say to you, at that time, I wasn't doing as well as I am financially now. I was okay, but I was doing, because I put my energy into the art. And once I did that, that's when I've made a lot of money since then, because I focused on the art. I focused on the integrity. I focused on how I wanted to touch people and inspire people. When you put your focus there, oh man, you spend just chasing money, you'll do anything. You'll lose integrity in that. So what Bernie Mac said was absolutely right. Money, it will come. Right, I don't know if y'all familiar with Rodney Perry. he had mentioned that to me one day back in the day when I was struggling. He was like, he said, "You stay on this road long enough." He said, "Money will come," and it does. When I tell you,
Yeah.
brother, it will everything that you vision, it will come, and it just it's it. The devil, he's put here, man, to discourage you and get you off track. I mean, Bernie Mac, as you mentioned, I'm sure you know a story where he had a show. The show went so bad, he stopped doing comedy for a year. Obviously, he got back on. If you didn't know that, now you know that. The great Bernie Mac, the legendary Bernie Mac, man, he had a show that was so bad it discouraged him that much he stopped doing. Now, what if he didn't get back on that horse? We would have never had a Bernie Mac. That would have been a great loss to comedy.
It's kind of the same story that Steve Harvey had. Steve Harvey had a show called Me and the Boys. Nobody know that show. Me and the Boys probably aired like 15 episodes. He quit, came back with Steve Harvey's show, and then was continued to host at the Apollo. So we probably would have heard of Steve Harvey as well. But it's crazy, like you say, to continue to do what you're doing, no matter what. You're going to fail, but you are going to succeed.
Don't be afraid of failure. That's true.
Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Go ahead.
All I was gonna say was that's the best teacher. Failure.
Yeah, failure is the teacher.
Thank you.
Definitely. Thank you. Let me ask you this.
Thank you. What's up?
Let me ask you this, because I mean, and you do it. Listen, when I first heard you doing John Witherspoon, I was like, yo, my childhood has came back. How did you because honestly, I heard his son do a shout out to his son. R.I.P. Rest in peace, John Witherspoon, one of my favorite comedians. Rest in peace. I saw that you took a picture with him. I saw you took a picture with him. But how did you? But how was it like? First of all, how was it like meeting him, and how did you perfect that impression? Because that impression is hard to do.
Oh right, yeah, man. Meeting him, oh gosh, it just blew me away. I felt like it was unreal because it was in Atlanta, and the night I was coming into the club, and I didn't know he was performing, and they were telling me they wanted me to go on stage, and then John was there. I saw him. I was like, John Witherspoon is here tonight, and it was like crazy, and I was like, before everything gets crazy, let me go ahead and get a picture of him, and that was actually the night I was opening up for him. So it was just a total dream come true. Because I always knew in some type of way I would work with him, and I was able to open up for him that night. And thanks to my man Kelly K Dub, I don't know if you know him, he's a comedian, man, super funny. You might know him from it's a bit he does about hash browns. It's on
Comedy Central. I would think it was a skit on Comedy Central. I think I did see that.
Probably so.
Yeah.
He put me on stage that night, man. Shout out to him, and we've been buddies for a long time. And I opened up for him. It was very unreal, man. Seeing him there, he was super cool. Now, as far as the
we gotta hear the impression. We gotta hear the impression.
Yeah, I got you. I'll do it, man. And I'll tell you the story behind it is I was a little kid, man, when Friday came out, and I knew what I wanted to do a long time ago. I started as an adult, but I knew what I wanted to do a long time ago, and I was watching the movie Friday as a kid. And the scene when Ice Cube closed the refrigerator, and this guy, I remember because Bernie Mac and Chris Tucker were in the film. We both knew that me and my brothers, we all knew they were funny, but I was like, well, who is this guy? Because everybody was talking about Bernie Mac, Chris Tucker, and all that, and I loved him too. But I kept saying, well, who is this guy right here? I was like, man, he just really stood out to me because I just thought he was just a physical and colorful genius. I mean, I was like, he's scratching his head and he's sucking his teeth.
The nappiest
hair. It was just so much.
The nappiest
right. That's all what I do. And it was so much going on. I said, even as a young guy, I was like, what would it be like the challenge it would be to emulate what I'm seeing as an actor? So that's what I look at it as. I look at it as an actor. I'm taking it on, and just as much as Jamie Foxx took on Ray. That's why I get into it so much when I do Pops. So when I do them, that's what you're seeing. You're seeing me completely diving into the character. That's why you see. So I'm on a show right now with my man. Got the young man here doing comedy himself, brother Spaz. Yeah, boy. Rob Sway. Me and Rob Sway, we're gonna go out later on tonight and get some cutie pies. Yeah, boy. Give me some hot sauce. Thank you, Kylie. So it just, I feel it, man. Every time I'm doing it, I can feel it.
he always wanted hot sauce and had the worst stomach all the time, right?
Yeah, definitely. And you know what's so funny about your comedy, honestly? Because I'll tell you how I first discovered you. I just seen you with your fingers up like this, and it was basically like the thumbnail. It was the thumbnail, and you had your fingers up, and then the title of the name. So I said, let me check him out real quick. And you was at Popeyes, and I'm like, you got it. And what kills me about it that you do have them down packed. It's also the blanks. This right here, when you do this with because Pop's blank, he'll sit there and blink. So I'm like, yo, he got it. And honestly, I was like, yo, listen, I pray and hope he makes it because everybody wants a little bit of money. Everybody wants to get out of the hood. At least that's what we're doing for. Man. You get what I'm saying?
It's been happening ever since all of that. Because for the longest, man, absolutely, brother. For the longest, I didn't do my impersonations, and God tapped me on the shoulder, man. And said, I gave you that weapon for a reason. Because like I said, I always let people know, because, I'm currently on tour right now. I'm on tour right now. My next city, in Jackson, Mississippi next, man, at Miketown Comedy Club.
Salute to
I'll be
you.
in Killeen, Texas. No doubt, boy. I'll be in Killeen, Texas, November 17th and 18th at Twice as Funny Comedy Club. And it's just, my tour has been going. My tour came from the viral videos. I have had a lot of viral videos, but I also most recently I had 4 in a row. So that's what really, really, truly launched the tour. I had some difficulty trying to do it during COVID, but when I had those four consecutive viral videos, that's what really set it off. And it was because of the impersonations. Because I always let people know that's not my live act. I'm not, doing impersonations the whole time. I'm a real comedian. I do real jokes. I got my own personality and my own style, and it's a very unique experience in my stand-up. And it goes through a variety of things, but I do the impressions. I put them in there, but I like to let people know and make sure they know. That's why on my page, my Facebook and Instagram and all that, I make sure people see a variety of videos. So, when you see me live, expect a variety of things. So, because it's almost psychological. You'll miss out because I know everybody loves impersonations. Because I remember the first time I saw somebody do an impersonation. It's a powerful tool and a powerful gift. How it touches you. So I know how I would not do it because I wouldn't want to disappoint my fans like that and not do it. But I make sure they know that's not my goal. That's not the pinnacle of what I do. I do so many different things. I do want people to know my own personality. I've had somebody, when you guys see what I do as me, I've had people imitate me before. So that's what I want. I was like, just as Pops has his own personality, Chris Tucker and these people that are known for their own persona, I want the same. That's why the truth is I can do over 75 impersonations. Why do I only do a few of them? Because I don't want to brand myself as the impression guy. That's all I do. And you get stuck in that, now it's like we can't do nothing. Exactly.
Yeah, it's more.
Can you give me your Mount Rushmores of comedians?
My personal Mount Rushmore. That's a good, oh gosh. For me, does it just have to be stand-up or?
Whatever.
Okay, and I have Mount Rushmore was like 4 people or 5, I think. It's
4.
It's 4 people. All right, so here we go. Now I like this is a challenge right here, and especially not since it's just not just stand up. Okay, here we go. My Mount Rushmore of comedians is Lucille Ball, Eddie Murphy. Okay. Jim Carrey, and a guy named Mitch Hedberg, who passed away. God rest his soul. That would be my Mount Rushmore right there. Yeah.
Okay, I'm curious. Why Lucille Ball?
Oh gosh, I think Lucille Ball is a genius, man. I mean, her show. I don't know if she ever did stand up. I need to research that if she ever. I don't think she did, but I think she just. To me, she's painted the blueprint for a lot of physical comedians. I think that to be doing, to me, to have that type of comedic instinct and development so many years ago. You know, that was a long time ago. Somebody's doing something like that now. That's one thing. But when you're doing something like that in the 1950s and the 1960s, to me, she just had impeccable timing. She knew what to do with any type of situation physically. Like for me, I see a lot of Lucille Ball and Martin Lawrence for me in the show, the Martin show itself. Aside from the original characters, because I mean, Martin it was though very original. It also has to me elements of all the greatest sitcoms of all time popped into one. Like when you see the banter of he and Pam, to me, it reminds me so much of Fred Sanford and Aunt Esther. Or when you see, the multiple characters in Richard Pryor, and like I said, just Martin. Let me shout out to Martin, genius, an absolute comedic genius. Who was pleasure to me. He was at one of my shows one time, and he said that I was funny, and he said I had the power of the greatest comedians that have come before me. I went outside of the auditorium and cried.
Oh my God!
Martin Lawrence saying that to me.
Yeah, imagine hearing that from arguably one of the
Martin.
GOATs.
Yeah. Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Watching
incredible.
Watching he and Tracy Morgan in the audience, bro. And the reason I don't want to talk over you, I'm trying. I know we don't have much time, but in the audience, bro. You know how black people lean on each other when they laugh so hard?
Yeah.
To see he and Tracy Morgan doing that, man. And the other people, to me, I appreciated Eddie Murphy's versatility. To me, he showed that a comedian can do characters and showcase their own personality simultaneously, which is my goal. To show, oh yeah, I can do the impersonations, but I can also be funny as myself. Eddie Murphy was the first rock star of comedy. He broke that down. I'm not a fan of any like profanity, anything like that. But Eddie Murphy to me is just an immense talent, and I think he broke that down. That whole thing of those rules of a comedian can be good looking. You know what I mean? He can wear the sharp leather suit. He can be versatile. You don't, like I said, the biggest thing for me, you don't have to just do characters. You don't have to kind of pick one and say, oh, I'm going to be funny as everybody else or funny as myself, because that's what people they think you have to pick one. Mitch Hedberg was a guy that he passed away. He's reminiscent of a guy named Stephen Wright, because he does these one-liners. They call him the Kurt Cobain of comedy. You know Kurt Cobain, what he means to Nirvana, the group in the 90s. And I just thought he was a really smart stand-up comedian to take such simplicity and be able to fire off one-liners like a missile. And then there's Jim Carrey, which is to me the ultimate physical genius. So when you to me, the absolute king of physical comedy. And when you see what I do on stage in my own way, I use a lot of physical comedy, because to me, before there was audio in movies, you had Charlie Chaplin. Shout out to Richard Pryor, who I think painted the blueprint for so many comedians.
Yeah.
Right. And Charlie Chaplin, who did, like I said, there weren't even words in movies back then. So to see an artist be able to translate so much on screen without, using that many attributes of themselves. When you can do that and pull it off, like the stuff Jim Carrey can do with his face, it's just incredible.
Yeah.
And so that's my breakdown, man. There we go. And I admire so many people, man. Chris Rock's ability to make you laugh and think simultaneously. Chappelle's out of the box thought pattern. I think Jamie Foxx, every now and then I do a comparison to him.
Yes.
And that's
He's on my Mount Rushmore. He's on my
Jamie Foxx is one of the most talented individuals in the world. So, and to get one time I got a comparison to him, and I really appreciated that. So really.
You know who else I like? Who people didn't mention? I'm sorry, D-Ray Davis, man. D-Ray Davis is.
Oh, that's what's up. Yeah.
Oh, he's tough,
D-Ray
man.
Show me love, man. D-Ray show me love every time I would see him, man. And D-Ray D-Ray don't talk to too many people. He kind of be on it, in his own zone. And so I remember when he gave me some tips when I was first starting out and everything. because he told me, he's like, I don't be talking to these cats like that, but he said I saw something in you, and so shout
That's
out to
dope,
D-Ray,
man.
man.
That's dope.
Very clever. D-Ray is probably, I want to piggyback on what Spaz want to say. D-Ray is probably one of the most clever comedians. His material, like I love the joke he has about. He talks about. He said he's gonna tell his girlfriend he's a superhero. He said he want to date a supergirl so he can tell her anything he want. And he said he gonna tell her he's a superhero. His name is Club Man. He got to go get numbers and everything from girls to get powers.
That is.
So shout out to D-Ray. Very, very clever guy, man. That's what's up.
Yeah, I know. I like your Mount Rushmore because it's unique. I would say my Mount Rushmore, Damon Wayans. Damon Wayans, the last stand-up that he did back in the 90s. It was called Last Stand Up.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Like the burgundy hat on.
Yeah, with the burgundy hat. I got
Damon Wayans is funny.
Of course, I got Eddie Murphy, Delirious Raw. I'm gonna have to put Patrice O'Neal in there. The Elephant in the Room is probably one of my favorite stand-ups I've ever seen in my life. And then I'm gonna have to go Robin. I'm gonna have to go Robin Harris.
Robin Harris, oh man, Baby's Kids, come on now.
Baby's Kids, Robin Harris.
Unsung, man. I think we didn't get enough of Robin
Harris. Too soon.
But I like gone too soon. I look at Bernie. I feel like Bernie Mac carried the spirit a little bit. Bernie Mac, though very original, very unique. I think he carried that spirit a little bit when Robin left us. So it's just, man, I think all these comedians that we've named just kind of, they all bring it together. I think what comedy is so subjective. It's a very hard thing to say who's the funniest person, because the truth is everybody brings a different dynamic to comedy. I think Chris Tucker is one of the greatest comedic movie stars that we've had.
Yeah.
To me, Money Talks is my favorite.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Everybody talks about Friday and Rush Hour, but I always say Money. I told him that myself because he was at one of my shows and he said, "Man, you a star, man." He said, "Man, you got it, man. You got it, man. You a star, man. Man, you got it. I saw something in you, man. You got it, man." And I told him personally, I said, that's my favorite movie of yours. I know everybody. I like Rush Hour and Friday, but I said Money Talks, to me, Chris Tucker put on a performance. That was a memorable comedic. To me, in my opinion, his greatest comedic performance that he's ever put down. I love Money Talks. He did his thing.
Excellent. No, Money Talks is actually excellent. To me, he kind of gives me, which I love Chris Tucker, and I take nothing from him. And you know how, I think everybody takes something from somebody, like somebody that they like. I think Chris Tucker, to me, a little bit sounds like Bernie Mac, and some of his facial expressions and the way he says certain things,
absolutely,
which is an excellent thing, so.
Absolutely. I mean, Chris Tucker takes on, you could see a lot of young Eddie Murphy in his films. Like, when he gets on the plane, Eddie, they told him to change that alternator. I mean, he openly said that how he I think his goal was to take Eddie Murphy movies and punch him up a little bit. That was kind of his goal. So, and I like that you notice a lot of people don't notice that he had a bit of, especially in his early stand-up, a bit of a Robin Harris, Bernie Mac-esque kind of energy with the
pissed off man.
You know what I mean? Just kind of taking this attitude that I'm going through something right now, and that's why it was funny. So excellent observation right there, Spaz. Absolutely, I would agree.
Yeah, man. Let me ask you this, because I know we don't got that much time. Let me ask you this: you said you got a documentary coming out. What made you want to start a documentary, and what is this documentary going to be about?
It kind of goes back to some Spaz was saying, which is I got fed up with being this guy. This is quoting other people. This super, super talented guy that nobody knew who I was at the time. Now I'm beginning to get known everywhere I go. Now somebody recognizes me, which is an absolute blessing. But it was a time I was just this guy. Why isn't he out there more? You know what I mean? Why don't more people know about this guy? He's so talented. He can sing, he can dance, he's funny, he can do impressions, he's good looking. They say he got the whole package. What is going on? I got tired of it. And I told God to come with me. I began to literally get up and begin to promote myself. And that's what you see me doing. And if you ever saw videos of me in the barbershops, I'm in the barbershops I'm promoting myself. I said, and the concept of that was, if I can go into a barbershop and even attempt to do comedy, I like to hold. We know the environment of barbershop, especially a black barbershop. They roasting each other and clowning. And I said, if I can even go into that environment,
it'd be the most dangerous
right.
place.
Thank you. Exactly. Sometimes exactly. So I said if people, the common denominator of why people don't pursue their goals is fear, some form of fear. And the best teacher is example. So I said, if I can display by example showing fearlessness, I hope it will tap into the human soul of anybody in your own life. You know, it's not about comedy. It's about in your own life, whether you're a truck driver, a dentist, you're trying to open your own business. You've been afraid to approach that woman you wanted. You've been afraid to step out on faith and move somewhere else. Whatever your fear, whatever personal fear you deal with, I hope you can look at my story and see me being fearless and tap inside of yourself. Say, I'm not going to let fear get in the way of anything I'm trying to accomplish. So what I did, I decided to, I said, I was doing this. I was promoting myself in the barbershops and selling my merchandise, building my social media. And I said, why not put this on camera? And that's when it came. And what I did, I've taken that and promoting I'm promoting my first concert film. It has a little tension from Netflix now too. So there's that. We'll see what happens.
Let's get it. Let's go.
My man, thank you. And yeah, this is making history. I've traveled to over 13,000 barbershops. So any video you see me in the barbershop, that's why I'm everywhere. It's in so many different cities and states in these barbershops. And that is a mission, man, to inspire people and kind of be my adding on to my kind of coming out party. You know, Trey Williamson's coming out the blocks, and now I'm doing that's what my tour is called. Trey Williamson's coming out the blocks to the live tour. Next city, like I said, Jackson, Mississippi, September 15th, Miketown Comedy Club, if you're there. And it's just that's what happened. I got tired of being this guy that was super talented. You know what I mean? I'm quoting other people, but nobody knew who I was. I began to do these videos. I had a vision that those videos would go viral, and they did. You know, the first one we did 1.3 million in 2 days. The next one went after that. I thought it was going to be 10. To date, now it's been 22 videos of me in the barbershops that have gone viral, and it's just been an absolute blessing. It was just because I believed. It was a crazy idea that God gave me one day to get up and go into these barbershops and promote myself. The barbers would film me. Next thing I know, they just start posting them everywhere. The biggest one hit 36 million. And I said, okay, what I loved about it, Spaz, you keep this in mind too, man. It may not happen how you saw it, because I thought my career was going to look like Chris Tucker's or Eddie Murphy's. I had to realize I was in a completely different time period. I'm in the internet age. My career is going to look differently than these guys. So once I got that out of my head, how it was supposed to look, and realized you're going to touch people in the way that God decides for you to touch people. Now I said, now me and God, I was looking at some of my videos that do numbers just as big as a network like CBS, you know? So I was like, when I do TV and stuff, that's just kind of adding on to something God had ordained that I didn't even need Hollywood to do. So there it is, man. That's what the documentary all about.
Listen, man, you can't stop God's plan. You cannot stop God's plan, man. What is meant for you is meant. And see, me as a young brother, just in the hood, like I love the fact that, you know, when people make it out, you're not another statistic. You know what I'm saying? Because some people, you know, as growing up and being in the neighborhood, us as people, we do dumb stuff. You go to the streets,
right.
You know what I'm saying? So I love. So whenever I hear or see somebody going, I'm like, oh man, I love it. You get what I'm saying? And you're not, when I watch you, you're actually funny. It's not somebody who's like, all right, yeah, I'm just gonna skip it. You get what I'm saying? It's you're actually funny. So I love the fact that you're doing it and just keep going to the top. Does the fame get annoying sometimes though? Like
no.
Okay, all right.
That's a great, not for me, no, because what goes through my mind every single time. Because the best example of that would be I was in Walgreens because I had what was great is like when I'm in a small town, it's pretty chilled. You know, I don't really get recognized, but when I'm in the big cities, everywhere I go. So I was in Walgreens. I was exhausted. I was just coming off the road, and big group of people noticed me, recognized me, and I had to stop there at like 3 or 4 in the morning, and everybody wanted an individual picture with me. And at 3 or 4 in the morning, I stopped and took a picture with each and every one of them, because what's going through my mind is if it wasn't for these people, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing right now and make the money that I'm making and get the exposure that I'm getting. It's because of the people. Shout out to the people, man, in general. Everyone that if is ever liked or shared or reposted or any of my content, thank you so much. It's not a day that goes by. I know for a lot of people it's annoying, but for me, man, it just I don't care what I'm doing. I'm gonna stop and take a picture. I'm gonna stop and smile. I'm gonna stop and if you want to have a brief conversation, because if it wasn't for you all, I wouldn't be able to continue growing in what I'm doing. So thank you all to my fans so much.
That's love, bro. That's love. That's love.
Can I just say one more thing? Add one more thing, please.
Sure.
Like, so for me, like I said, I don't even have that much followers, anything like that, but I do have a small, tiny following. When I walk through my neighborhood, for the people to, yo, Josh, Spaz, come here.
Yeah.
I walk over there. I'm like, what's going on? It was like, yo, listen, we got to do a skit together. What do you like, yo? And then they asked me, how do I come up with how do you come up with your comedy? I'm like, honestly, it's just a gift. I'm like, I can literally sit and just be watching TV and something to pop in my head, and I'm like, oh, and then I'll quarterback it in my head, like, I see this scene doing this. I see this doing this. I see this. Even if it don't get much views, it's okay. Like you said, it's gonna take some time.
It's gonna come.
I'm comfortable with that. You get what I'm saying? But I understand where you're coming from.
Keep it going, man. My man. Thanks for sharing that, my brother. Everything is levels to everything you'll start to see, and you'll enjoy that level, and you'll enjoy. That's another thing I remind. That's what I was always good at, enjoying every victory. I'm not gonna call it small because it all comes together and it contributes to the things you do at the next level, the next level, the next level. So it all counts. Think about it. I'm like right now, bro. I do comedy full time, but I use techniques from when I had a customer service job to promote myself. You get what I'm saying? So it was meant for me to have that job, that customer service job. So that's why I began to not hate so much going there. Obviously, I don't want to do that didn't want to do that for the rest of my life. But I use those. God, like I said, God knows He's putting that stuff together. They're building skills that you're going to use for the rest of your life. Because there's so much we realize in any type of profession, you share a lot of the same principles. Whether you're I approach a lot of what I do as an athlete. Like a little fun fact about my workout, I train just about every day now, and I go at 3 days a week. I go at 4 a.m. That's like an athlete, and that's because I train my body to be able to physically, especially if you've ever seen a video of me in the barbershops where I've changed my voice 5 times and I'm moving around that room. You have to physically be in shape to do that. You know what I mean? To change from Cat Williams to Johnny Witherspoon. Then all Locker Rockers. And then switch it to Eddie Murphy, all while you're physically running around the room. It takes breath control. Real talk.
Definitely. I went on stage I went on stage and it was just an opportunity. One of my cousins called me. She said, Josh, you feel like performing? I said, of course. So I opened up for Ghostface Killah.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Excellent. Nice. Excellent. Thank you. And I'm thinking it's on it because I can rap in the house like that's nothing. But when I was on the stage and I'm moving around and I'm acting or touching the crowd and I'm doing everything, my tongue got dry. I'm sweating. Yeah. So trust me, I get you. Trust me, I definitely get you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Absolutely. Let me end it on this. Can you tell me what is the biggest impact that being a comedian has had on your life? What is the biggest impact that it has had on your life? The biggest impact.
Aside from, like I said, being able to touch people in that way, what the biggest impact it has had on my life is, I would definitely just say the beauty of being able to wake up every day, the beauty and the freedom of being able to wake up every day and say, what I do for a living not only touches people, but I'm able to provide for my family. I'll be able to provide for future family, and I can enjoy my life, man, and from doing what I love.
What you love,
from doing what I love. Yeah, and I look around at all these things that it's providing, and I'm like, all of this came from. I remember it was a basketball. One of my basketball coaches. If you're out there listening, Mr. Hagler, he said you crack a lot of jokes. Those jokes aren't going to get you anywhere. And I look at how far me cracking jokes has gotten. So that's the biggest impact right there for me.
And the beauty of it is, it doesn't feel like a job. Like even when I do music, It doesn't feel like a
Oh,
job
yeah, he's
because
right.
this is a passion. This is something I love doing. So I understand totally.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so like usually before we end the show, I usually ask people for an inspirational message. So I'm asking both of y'all. I want to start with you, Trey. What would be an inspirational message you would give to somebody that wants to be consistent but is having a difficult time trying to find how to be consistent? What inspirational message would you give them?
It's simple. Trust yourself. That's it. Trust you, which means trust what you're doing, believe in what you're doing, and that will you stick with what you're doing. Trust you. Don't feel like you have to change who you are to become great. Don't feel like you have to completely alter, your soul and your spirit to progress in life. Trust you. Like we said, the same jokes that Bernie Mac was telling before anybody. It's people that say I've been doing a Pops Witherspoon impersonation for years. Now the world has seen it. Now that's just the only difference. So trust yourself in every endeavor. There we go.
Josh, what you got?
Oh man, I definitely respect it. For me, I would honestly love yourself, love what you're doing, and just have fun with it. Because like I said, it's a lot of stuff in this world that's like every time you turn around, somebody's miserable or somebody's just have fun with whatever you're doing. Love it, enjoy it, and just don't sell your soul. That's all I would really say.
Amen, man. Amen, brother.
Yeah.
Have fun. I remember a comedian told me that before I went on stage one time because you forget, you get so caught up in working. Spaz, great, man. Well said. Have fun.
Yeah.
That's right.
And my message would be, if you're curious, do it. Curiosity limits mental health. Be curious to what you want to do.
Hey, I like that, man. That's a gem there, bro.
That's hard.
Curiosity eliminates mental health. Be curious. It's okay. If you want to do it, try it. Just the Thought Podcast. I want to do it. Yeah, boy. Just the Thought Podcast.
Yeah, boy.
Just want to say I enjoyed the podcast. You are a true player. How you want me to say the thing? You say hold on. How you want me to say the thing?
Just the Thought Podcast.
Just a thought. Okay, hold on. I had just a thought. The thought was that Rob Swabby is an excellent radio host. Yeah, boy. Just a Thought Podcast, and we out. I'm about to go get me a nice cutie pie. Spaz. Trey Williams said.
You already know, man. Love you, man. Keep doing your thing, brother.
Yes.
I'm going to see you at the top. You heard?
My man. Hey, see you there, big dog. Peace.
One love.